Godzilla vs. Kong ended in a way that pretty much told us nothing. I enjoy the movie a ton, but it does end in a way that doesn't really tell us much more than Godzilla and Kong are okay with each other now. At the very end of the movie, just before the credits roll, we got a little glimpse into the future, with Kong taking center stage as he triumphantly swings through the Hollow Earth. But how did everything get to this point, when last we saw, Kong was barely able to stand and was stuck in the middle of one of the largest cities in the world? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video, so sit back and let's get to it. Out of the gate, we find ourselves back in Hong Kong just as Godzilla swims out to sea. Kong crumbles to the ground, and humanity can finally take a breath. But then what? How did Kong get back to the Hollow Earth? The first thing your mind wants to go and say is, well, he must have gone back down the hole that he climbed out from in the first place. But last we saw, the other end of that entrance to the center of the Earth had collapsed and had what was likely millions of pounds worth of rock and earth now covering it. Even for Kong, there's no way through that sheer amount of debris, so the journey back to the Hollow Earth must have been much more interesting. By the way, what do you think the people living near the mouth of that hole to the Hollow Earth are going to do with a stinking hole to the center of the Earth just hanging out in their backyard? Really though, what would they do in a real life scenario here? You can't just fill it with glue and be done with it. More than likely, Monarch and the local government would have convinced one of the local massive cargo ships in that area to sacrifice their ship for the time being in order to get the giant ape anywhere but there. But this would take some time, and the few days after the battle in Hong Kong would have likely led to the giant ape being kept just out of the city, in one of the more rural areas, until he was able to heal and a large enough ship for the creature could be obtained. Kong probably would be treated fairly here, and he would more than likely be okay with sleeping off his injuries, even if it meant being kept in human confinement for a short while. Once the ship was found and the ape healed, Monarch, using Gia, would entice Kong to get back on the ship and go back to the place that would become his home. Godzilla, now having respect for Kong, would allow him to pass, and Kong would be pleased to know this, I'm sure, although I would expect he looked in the water from time to time just expecting to see a blue glow start to race towards him. Little bit of anxiety there, I'm sure. There are plenty of entrances to the Hollow Earth around the world in this universe, but the only one still capable enough for ease of access to the center of the Earth is the one on Antarctica. So once again, Kong heads south. Once reaching the frozen outpost, the humans would let Kong go at his own pace, back down the dark tunnels that led to the strange warp hole and to his home. Monarch would need some time to reverse engineer the specs for the heave units that only Apex had mastered the technology capable of designing such a vessel. It was likely a few months before Monarch had something capable of reaching the center of the Earth. Once they created a vessel capable of reaching Kong, they would send out a patrol from time to time to find the big ape and scout out potential base locations. In the meantime, more ships were created to bring the machinery and resources down to set up an outpost in the Hollow Earth. In time, we finally catch up to the scene of Kong soaring through the Hollow Earth. Speaking of the big ape, what was he doing in his alone time here? Well, Kong would likely take it much easier than the first time he came to this land. I'd imagine he would find a source of water and just take it all in. Do some hunting, take a nap, explore, and live the normal life every one of us apes wants to have. He would find a safer place to call his lair for the time being and try to grasp this new environment and terrain. By the time mankind finds him again, he was already in the best shape of his life and rejuvenated, almost de-aged by being in the Hollow Earth. Now beyond this point in the story where the last scene took place, what would happen? I believe Monarch and Kong would once again work again to explore and discover new places and crazy wildlife in the Monsterverse realm here. We've made some videos covering that recently on the channel, so go back and take a look after this video if you want to learn more of our Hollow Earth theories. With the respect between the giant ape and Monarch being at an all-time high, it's likely the humans would begin to experiment with Kong weaponry, creating melee weapons and armor sections for the ape even, with the occasional idea of, what if we give the monkey a giant 100-foot shotgun surely coming up? From there this story would only lead on, and anything would be possible. Alright residents, so if you like that theory and want to see more videos like that, you know what to do. Subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell to stay notified, share this video around, like it, comment on it, get the algorithm fired up. Now before I go, I want to introduce you all to a new special podcast called the BEASTHUB. Created by Joe from Goji Center, who was nice enough to ask me to be a co-host of this new series. It's going to be a legit podcast experience, so it's not on YouTube, it's just going to be on Spotify, Amazon, and all your typical podcast listening places. So I'll make sure and leave links to that down below. If you like podcasts and you like, beasts, kaiju, Godzilla, Kong, dinosaurs, Jurassic Park, and all that, feel free to go give us a listen if you want. From time to time, you'll actually see Al on there as well, along with many of our other friends that you've seen here on Dangerville in the past. I hope you're all having a good day, and I will see you in the next one.